Let's move on to Restaurant Brands International, which is the parent company of Burger King, Popeyes, and Tim Hortons. First quarter, I mean, it wasn't terrible, but it certainly wasn't great. Burger King's same-store sales were just over 2%. That was the highlight. That's
right. Right.
I mean, if that was the low, I'd think that was okay. But I mean, what's going on with this company right now?
I think the really interesting story here is with Tim Hortons. So their same-store sales declined 0.6%, which is sort of a continued decline. And I would say it's a really moderated decline. You know, it's not something, it's not falling off a cliff, but it's definitely a negative trend. And I think, you know, management is talking a lot that they've opened their first 3 Tim Hortons in China. We've seen Starbucks really look at China for growth for coffee for the past 3 to 5-ish years. And then we've also seen Luckin Coffee, which is a Chinese coffee company, filed their IPO or S1 to go public later this year. So it's really a hotbed for coffee, I would say. So the decline, although, again, they just opened 3 stores, it's not necessarily indicative that, like, it's going to fail. I just think it's maybe not the trend you want to see as you expand in a hot space.
So one of the things I saw from the conference call was someone on the leadership team, I think it was the CEO, talking about weather being a factor in Canada because overwhelmingly that's where Tim Hortons is located. And, you know, I think he even said something to the effect of, I hate to use weather as an excuse, but, and that's always fair to me when it comes to restaurants because it's not cars. You know, it's not, it's like, well, you didn't buy a car last week because the weather was bad. You're probably going to go buy it next week. Whereas those are just lost sales for any restaurant chain.
Right. You're not out and about. You're not stopping by, especially with coffee. It's really a convenience factor, location-based.
Right. And if the weather's bad, I'm not going back next week and I'm buying double the amount of coffee.
Right.
The one thing I think that'll be interesting to watch with Tim Hortons was a stat I saw that half of their transactions involve their loyalty program. And all I could think as a Starbucks shareholder was, what are you doing with your loyalty program that it's going that well? I mean, that's impressive that they are doing that.
Right.
So I don't know if they are particularly great at their loyalty program and Starbucks is particularly terrible at theirs. But that's if that's something that they can sustain as they continue to open locations around the world, that bodes well for QSR.
I would agree with that, yes.